Right now at noon, staying in the race, what President Biden told congressional Democrats this morning. Plus, Hurricane Beryl makes landfall in Texas, why some fear many people did not evacuate in time. This is News 3 Now at noon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Josh Breiter. This afternoon, the Biden-Harris campaign is stepping up outreach to lawmakers to shore up support. In a live phone interview today on MSNBC, President Biden says he doesn't care what party elites think. In a letter to congressional Democrats, he wrote, "The voters and the voters alone decide the nominee of the Democratic Party," adding that it's time for the question of how to move forward to end. But it isn't ending. The number of House Democrats saying Biden should step aside in the wake of his dismal debate performance last month continues to grow.
Biden just needs to step down and let someone else take the reins.
We need to stand behind him because we are standing on his record and the kind of man that he is.
President Biden will be busy this week hosting a NATO summit and holding his first domestic solo news conference in 7 months. He also has a campaign event in the battleground state of Michigan on Friday. We are now just 1 week out from the Republican National Convention, and security continues to be a major talking point. Federal agencies, along with the Milwaukee Police Department, say the RNC could be an attractive target for violent extremists. A separate report by another agency says this election season has seen an increase in disruptive tactics meant to create fear. They add this could lead to violent conflicts taking place at or near other peaceful protests near Pfizer Forum. The director of the U.S. Secret Service appeared on ABC's This Week and says they've spent many months preparing.
You know, I think the overall threat environment has constantly been evolving as we've gone through the past conventions and numerous years. We've been planning this now for the past year and a half in both Milwaukee and in Chicago. Our folks are working together with the Milwaukee Police Department, Chicago Police Department to make sure that we are prepared and we're ready to mitigate any potential.
The Secret Service director says the risk of violence is equal between foreign and domestic sources. Well, we have more chances for rain in the forecast. First Storm meteorologist Kelly Slifka is on the weather patio with your certified most accurate weather. Hi, Kelly.
Yeah, good afternoon, Josh. Actually, a pretty nice noon hour. We do have a few clouds that have been popping up, and some of these clouds later this afternoon may squeeze out a couple of showers. I'm not expecting anything widespread, but you can see from our Edgewater sky cam as we look at Picnic Point there, Lake Mendota, a little bit of a wake out there because of some of these winds that we've had as well. But all in all, a pretty nice noon hour. We have a really weak system moving right through the state right now. It's been producing a couple of showers, amazingly, across northern areas of the state. Can't rule out a couple of these, mainly north of Madison later on this afternoon. But right now, all is quiet around here. We are looking at just partly cloudy skies, and our future track radar, maybe a couple of showers up to our north into the mid-afternoon hours. I think the better chance will be as we get toward the dinner hour and the rush hour. Can't rule out a couple of showers once again, mainly to the north of Madison toward the Dells and Camp Douglas a little bit later on. Otherwise, it's going to be a warm day as temperatures get up close to 80. Been feeling much like it should for this time of July. We are talking about Beryl, Tropical Storm Beryl, as it did make landfall this morning. The remnants looks like mainly going to be staying to our south. We'll be missing out on most of the rain with that. And then behind that system, as we go into the weekend, it's really going to be heating up. We're looking at some 90s coming our way this weekend. Right now, it's 78 in Madison and also Middleton. 77 right now down in the south in Stoughton. So 78 right now with the winds out of the west at 6 miles per hour. Temperatures in the low 80s. Can't rule out a couple of these showers popping up a little bit later on this afternoon. We'll talk about more on Beryl and where it's headed coming up in about 15 minutes.
All right, Kelly, thank you. Let's go to Texas now, where Beryl's torrential rain is flooding streets this afternoon. A few cars plowed through deep water this morning, some having to be pushed. Fierce winds also battering Sugar Land, Texas, after Beryl made landfall as a Category 1 hurricane. It is now being downgraded to a tropical storm. Storm surge rising to about 7 feet in areas just west of Galveston Bay. A disaster declaration has been issued for more than 100 Texas counties as the state's lieutenant governor warns the storm's path will impact communities inland in addition to the coast.
Once you've been through one and you see the storm and the rain and the wind, you want to be sure you're prepared.
Storm surge and flooding are always the most dangerous part of a hurricane. More than half of all hurricane-related deaths in the past decade came from flooding. More local news now. A 39-year-old man from Janesville is in the Rock County Jail this afternoon. Police say he shot at another man after a disturbance on Center Avenue on Friday. That man wasn't hurt. Police found a gun at the scene. Police arrested the man Saturday for recklessly endangering safety. He'll be in the jail until his first court appearance. Well, still ahead for us this afternoon. If you have a question or concern about your plants or garden, now's the time to send us your questions via email to tips@channel3000.com. Lisa Briggs from the Bruce Company will join us later in this broadcast with the answers. Again, that is tips@channel3000.com. Up next, a mega merger between two media companies. Plus, Boeing agrees to a tentative plea deal with the U.S. Justice Department to avoid a criminal trial.
A roof replacement can cost you $15,000, $20,000 or even more. But 9 out of 10 roofs don't need replaced. They can be rejuvenated with Roof Max for just a fraction of the cost.
Hi, I'm Kevin Harrington. I'm an original shark from the hit television show Shark Tank. When it comes to Roof Max, I'm all in. When I saw that Roof Max could extend the life of your roof by years, I decided to invest in the company.
Don't replace, rejuvenate with Roof Max.
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
How much I weigh is nobody's business.
But Eric Hovde wants to make it his.
Eric Hovde thinks that if you're overweight, insurance companies should charge you more.
There should be consequences to those personal choices. Fine, you want to do that? Your health care is going to cost more.
How insulting is that?
Hovde would increase health care costs for 1 out of every 3 people in Wisconsin.
Eric Hovde, what the hell is wrong with this guy?
I have no idea what I'm doing. My dad has Parkinson's. He can't manage his illness very well, and we need more support. There are pages and pages of resources online, but I'm so overwhelmed. That's why I connected with A Grace. Now I have a partner to help me understand what to expect and discuss options to help him feel better. They brought solutions, they brought support, and now I don't feel so alone. Choose more support and less stress with authentic care and connection. Learn how A Grace can help give you peace.
During Steinhaffel's 4th of July mattress sale, you can get a Queen Beauty Rest mattress for only $2.99. Or upgrade your sleep to the unmatched luxury and comfort of the Beauty Rest Black Hybrid for just $59 per month when you use Steinhaffel's 60-month financing. Plus, you'll get up to $300 in Steinhaffel's cash. There's nothing like a great night's sleep on a new mattress from Steinhaffel's. Start sleeping better tonight. Shop in-store or online at steinhaffels.com.
Masterforce pressure washers help you get outdoor cleaning done fast. From cleaning dirt off driveways or removing mildew from fences with the assorted spray tips. And with the foam cannon, washing your car or boat is a breeze. This 2,000 PSI pressure washer is $177.99 after rebate. Need more power? This 2,500 PSI pressure washer is $239.99 after 11% rebate at Menards. #1 in customer satisfaction among home improvement retailers, according to J.D. Power.
Save big money at Menards.
Breaking late last night, Skydance Media and Paramount Global have agreed to merge in a deal worth around $8 billion. The move would end the Redstone family's longtime stewardship of Paramount. Both companies say they'll create a new Paramount, which they believe will be a next-generation media and technology leader. The merger is expected to be finalized next year, pending closing conditions. Paramount is the parent company of CBS News. Boeing has agreed to a tentative plea deal with the U.S. Justice Department in order to avoid a criminal trial related to the fatal 2018 and 2019 737 MAX crashes. According to a court filing last night, Boeing has agreed to plead guilty to 1 count of conspiracy to defraud the FAA and will enter a 3-year probation period. The company has also agreed to pay more than $243 million in additional fines and more than $400 million for new compliance and safety programs. The tentative deal must be approved by a federal judge. And call it a summer of sequels and prequels. Despicable Me 4 went to the top of the holiday box office, hauling in more than $122 million domestically since it opened last Wednesday. Inside Out 2 took the second spot with $30 million over the weekend, and A Quiet Place Day 1 took in $21 million, dropping to the third spot. That's your CBS News Money Watch report. For more, log on to CBSMoneyWatch.com. At the CBS Broadcast Center, I'm Matt Piper.
At the noon hour, here's your stock report as we kick off the second week in July. The Dow down 54 points, NASDAQ up 25, and the S&P 500 down 1. Pam is watching today's egg prices straight ahead, and Kelly is tracking the first Warren forecast. Then later on Live at 4, Will Loper has what's hot at the box office, including Emma Roberts' new comedy, Space Cadet.
Are you suffering with neck pain, back pain, or sciatica due to disc-related conditions? You may have tried drugs, spinal injections, or physical therapy just to find out it didn't help. You're not alone. The problem is that some of those treatments focus on symptom relief, but may not address the underlying disc problem. As a result of injury or overuse, the discs may bulge, herniate, or degenerate over time. Our therapies are highly successful and reduce pain associated with those conditions and may help you avoid neck or back surgery. At Midwest Spine and Nerve Center, we'll design a treatment program using the latest in pain-relieving therapies, including non-surgical spine decompression, Pro Adjuster 360 computerized technology, laser therapy, and more. Visit our website or call to schedule a complimentary consultation.
When replacing your windows, you want them to be built by the best and backed by the best. That's what you'll get with replacement windows only available from Renewal by Andersen. When you choose Renewal by Andersen at Wanakee Remodeling, you're not getting a one-size-fits-all product. From design and sales to manufacturing, installation, and service, we own the entire process. This month, buy 2 windows, get the third 60% off, plus 12 months no-interest financing when you purchase 3 or more windows. Visit WanakeeRemodeling.com for more details.
You fight like hell, and if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore.
It should have been stopped. That's neglect of duty. As a sheriff, it's awful to watch police officers getting attacked. That's not supporting this badge and this uniform. I have no desire to work with somebody who divides. That's not what America is, but I work with anybody who unites. That's why I'm with President Joe Biden.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Milwaukee hosts the Republican National Convention, and News 3 Now brings you team coverage as Battleground Wisconsin grabs the national spotlight. Campaign 2024 GOP Convention coverage live from Milwaukee, starting July 15th on News 3 Now.
On the Jennifer Hudson Show, it's a Mario Lopez milestone. You just turned 50.
Thank you.
That's what 50 look like.
My daughter will be like, Dad, what are you doing? You're like 1,000 years old.
On the next Jennifer Hudson Show at 3. The Farm Report is sponsored by Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Welcome back at noon. Let's check in now with Pam Yankee from the Midwest Farm Report. Long time no see, Pam.
Hey, buddy. Yeah, I hope your 4th was nice. I'm looking forward to county fair season now getting in full swing. Our folks in Stoughton helped kick it off last week, and this week we've got even more. Don't forget, I'll see you later this week, Saturday, as a matter of fact, at the Sauk County Fair up in Baraboo for the youth livestock auction. We've got the Lodi, the Jefferson, Lafayette, and the Lodi fairs all going on. 4th of July may have meant a break for some of us, but not all of us. Representative Travis Tranel from Cuba City, he is a farmer himself, and he spent some time over the 4th of July break. He was along with the folks at the National Junior Angus Show that wrapped up over the weekend at the Alliant Energy Center ground, just stopping by to provide a little motivation for the young people that were in the audience about how important agriculture is, try to find out if they are thinking about a career in agriculture. And special shout out to Wisconsin Senator Howard Markline from our Channel 3 viewing area. He was recognized by the Wisconsin Counties Association as a Legislator of the Year award winner for a lot of the work that Howard's done on joint finance, helped to advance things like ARIP, the Agriculture Road Improvement Program, which a lot of farm folks in rural communities have been trying to tap into in conjunction with their county partners. So again, just a couple folks that were busy for the 4th of July break. We're also talking about what's coming up tomorrow evening. If you've got a young person that is thinking about going on to secondary education, maybe it's tech college, could be a 4-year college, maybe it's a apprenticeship, and they're trying to find their way through the gauntlet of paperwork and processes. Well, tomorrow evening from 6 until 8 a.m. in Nakusa, the College to You Roadshow is going to be happening. They've got different college representatives that are going to be there, support programs to try to help parents and those young people make it through the process, especially from rural Wisconsin. 6 until 8 tomorrow evening in Nakusa, College to You Roadshow. The markets today, they're still watching the weather. I know we're not happy with Wisconsin weather, but folks, we are the exception, not the rule. We'll get the latest crop planting update later this afternoon. Wisconsin's crop rating's probably the lowest in the nation. Everybody around us is having a pretty good year. Barrel cheese had a pretty good day, up 3 3/4 cents on a Monday to $1.94. 40-pound block cheese up 6 at $1.96. Double A butter taking a little edge off again today, down 1/4 cent. Josh still at $3.13 a pound for that butter. But yeah, now we're going to put the running boots on for county fairs, and we wish everybody an opportunity to get out there and enjoy it. Doesn't matter what the weather is going to be like. Just stop and think about all the hard work those kids put in to be a part of that county fair. Try to get there if you can.
Yeah, and happening all over, so we got plenty of options too.
Yeah, boy, that's for sure. You definitely do. Good enough.
All right, Pam, good to see you. We'll see you tomorrow.
You bet, Joshy.
Let's get a look at your certified most accurate forecast. First Four meteorologist Kelly Slifka is on the weather patio. Hi, Kelly.
Yeah, good afternoon, Josh. A pretty nice noon hour right now. We just have a few cumulus clouds popping up. Pretty seasonable temperatures. Yeah, it's a little bit muggy out here, but nothing unusual for this time of July. We actually have a very weak system just kind of stalled across the Badger State. Enough instability, we can't rule out a couple of isolated showers or storms popping up with the heating of the afternoon. So this will be later this afternoon into the evening hours, and I think they'll be mainly to the north of Madison. Right now, all that is staying up to our north. Otherwise, a warm day with temperatures getting close to 80. We are tracking now Tropical Storm Beryl. It's over land, so it's dissipating fairly quickly, but still has a lot of rain with it. It's just to the northwest of Houston at this hour. As that system tracks to our south, on the backside of it, we are expecting some heat. 90s. Here's Beryl right now. Winds at 65 miles per hour as it's moving to the north. And the track should keep it primarily to our south. It looks like across parts of the Ohio Valley, we might see a shower or a thunderstorm roll in Tuesday night into Wednesday, but once again, most of that staying to our south. That is good news. We don't need the rain. Looks like the heaviest rain will be falling across the Ohio Valley, maybe clipping the Chicago suburbs, the southern suburbs of Chicago. This will be mainly Tuesday night into Wednesday. Now, we can't rule out a couple of showers popping up. Chances are pretty slim, only about a 30% chance that you would see one of these into the early evening hours, mainly up toward the Dells. As we take a look at our future track, partly sunny skies, warm temperatures as we get up close to 80. Some of these clouds though up to our north as we get into the late afternoon hours up there toward the Dells, Camp Douglas, Watoma. Can't rule out a couple of these showers, maybe even an isolated thunderstorm popping up as temperatures back off into the 70s as we go through the evening. Then I think it will be dry after dark tonight. All right, we are under a pretty stagnant weather pattern other than Beryl tracking across the southern plains. But actually the heat is really going to be building as we go through later in the week and into the weekend. And with the jet stream flattening out, it looks like the heat is really going to be with us as we go into Saturday and also Sunday. That means temperatures possibly getting into the 90s. We haven't had a whole lot of those yet this summer, but it looks like that could be the case going to the later part of the weekend. Right now it's at 78 here in Madison, 81 in Janesville. We are expecting these temperatures to continue to climb into the lower 80s for most locations. So a pretty seasonable July afternoon. And we are looking at some chances of rain today, only about a 30% chance. Otherwise, looking pretty quiet most of the week. Another chance of some widely scattered showers on Wednesday, another one on Friday. And there is that heat toward the end of the weekend. Temperatures getting close to 90 by Sunday.
Summer is going to start summering the way it looks.
Yeah, and finally we're going to get a little bit drier weather pattern setting up by the weekend, so that is some good news.
All right, Kelly, thank you. Howard is in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen with a week-long series looking at some of our country's best regional favorites.
Chowder. Whenever I travel around the country, one of my favorite things to do, along with meeting so many of you, is to check out dishes that are indicative to wherever I am. So to share this passion with you, all this week we're highlighting some of my favorite recipes from across the country. Our first stop is in the Northeast, on the coast of New England, where chowder is a must-have. let me show you how easy it is to make. We start by sauteing a chopped onion and some salt pork, or you can use some cut up raw bacon. Once it starts to brown, we add in some clams. If you can get fresh shucked ones, all the better. Otherwise, a couple of cans of chopped clams will do the trick. To that, we also add some clam juice, chicken broth, a potato that we diced up, and a little salt and pepper. After this cooks for a bit, we'll thicken it with some cornstarch and some heavy cream. Once it's creamy, we stir in some chopped parsley and it's ready to dish up. So whether you're slurping the seaside or at the kitchen table, are you ever in for a treat? To get this simple recipe, all you have to do is go online and look for New England clam chowder, or chowder, as they say. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a super tasty way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
Next at noon, Lisa Briggs from the Bruce Company is here answering your plant and garden questions. You can email those questions to tips@channel3000.com, and we'll get the answers when we come back.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
What's up? You need some windows?
Howdy. Oh, you need windows, yes you do.
Hey folks, you call the experts? Increase your curb appeal and save big this summer with free installation on windows, siding, doors, and roofing. Plus, no interest for 5 years. And we'll get it done Feldco fast. Free installation ends soon. Call now.
Call 866 for Feldco.
This right here is confidence in a bottle.
It makes me feel so much more confident than I've ever felt.
They are some of the hottest videos on social media. Those videos claiming to instantly get rid of bags under your eyes. Annette Figueroa is here to tell us why she says this one is for real.
This one is for real, and I'm so excited. We even have a video, and all he uses is a small amount on a clean, dry face. And what it does is it tightens and lifts the appearance of bags underneath your eyes. And I did this to my father. We were at home, so we applied it to his under eye bags, and let me tell you, we were so excited. In under 10 minutes, they visibly disappeared from view, and now it is literally part of both of our daily routines. And not only does it work on the bags, it works on the appearance of crow's feet, fine lines, and wrinkles.
This July 4th is the best time to try Plexaderm at our startup price of only $14.95. Your solution is at plexadermtrial.com or call the number on your screen.
Did you see Trump last night? I mean it sincerely. Most lies told in a single debate. He lied about the great economy he created. He lied about the pandemic he botched. And then, his biggest lie, he lied about how he had nothing to do with the insurrection of January 6th. We all saw with our own eyes.
We're going to walk down to the Capitol, and I'll be there with you.
We saw police being attacked, the Capitol being ransacked. He did not a single thing to stop it, nothing. Folks, I know I'm not a young man, but I know how to do this job. I know right from wrong. I know how to tell the truth. And I know, like millions of Americans know, when you get knocked down, you get back up. I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Be looking.
And we're back with Lisa Briggs from the Bruce Company answering your plant and garden questions on a Monday. Remember, you can always email those tips to channel3000.com. How are you, Lisa?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Summer's
nice holiday. Halfway through the year.
Isn't that crazy? Flying by.
A third of the way through summer.
Wow.
Yikes.
We got a lot to get to. First, I want you to start with this. This is very pretty.
It is a florist chrysanthemum, so not one that would be hardy outside. But certainly really a pretty, it's got sort of that real pastel look, so it's very pretty.
Color.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. It'd be good on your porch for the summer. You just can't count on it to be perennial.
Oh, okay. Interesting. All right, let's get to the questions. We got a lot to get to. First, we're going to go to Marcia. Marcia wants to know, how does she stop gophers from eating the flowers off her petunias, those gophers?
Yeah, those gophers. It could also be rabbits, too. It could be a number of things. For rodents, I have had the best luck with a product called Shake Away, and they have a number of strengths. It's basically freeze-dried granulated predator urine. I used to say this all the time. Mark thought it was funny. It kind of is. But basically, it doesn't smell, and you can put that right in your pots, or if they're in a bed, like in the ground, you can do it around the bed. And it helps. I use the fox strength for rabbits, but there is also a coyote strength, which might be better for gophers.
All right. Question number 2 comes from Susan. Susan says her crab trees are losing leaves. She assumes it's from so much rain. Any advice for her?
It could be the rain issue because crab apples do like good drainage, but it could also be that you have some leaf spot, which is really prevalent this year because of the rain. Leaf spot is a fungal disease, so if your crab apple leaves are getting spots on them and then turning yellow and falling off, so if you look at the leaves, they're like little round, purpley brown patches on them, that is fungal. Best thing to do, you can spray a fungicide on it to halt it, although if your tree's really big, that's hard. There are some things you can do long-term. Make sure that you clean up all of the spent leaves so that the spores do not reinfect your tree. And then this winter, you might want to prune it out a little bit and see if you can improve the air circulation. That will help as well.
Jude is wondering the best way to handle an Adam's needle plant after it is done blooming. Should he just cut the top off and leave the bottom leaves? Also, are the finished green bloom buds seeds?
So Adam's needle, or yucca, is a very cool sort of deserty looking plant that looked spectacular this year. The flower spikes got really tall and really full, and they look beautiful all over town. So once that flower stem is finished, yes, you can go ahead and cut that back to the plant. Those flowers will develop into seeds eventually, but that takes a lot of energy out of the plant. So unless you are going to do something with those seeds, I would just cut the flower stem back and compost that or toss it.
Question number 4 comes from Ann. Ann wants to know if she can still plant some young, healthy hostas that are not in her garden yet.
Absolutely, Ann. There's a thought that once it gets hot and we get into the summer that you really can't plant anymore, and that's not true. But what you do have to do is be more aware of the weather conditions, and you have to water if Mother Nature is not going to help us out. We have had a lot of rain this year, but traditionally as we get into July and August, it gets hotter and drier. So just make sure that those new hostas get a good soak once a week from now, when you plant them, to when the ground freezes, and that's usually end of November sometime.
All right, question number 5 from Linda. Linda wants to know when the best time is to transplant Asiatic lilies.
So Asiatic lilies, they're starting to flower now. Best time to transplant them, I think, for me, is early in the spring when they first start to come up, when you see those little green buds coming up, and then you can transplant them. And I would use a starter fertilizer like plant root stimulator from Fertilome would be really good.
All right, all the good summer questions.
Yeah, absolutely.
In the thick of it now.
We are.
Isn't that crazy? I still can't get over it. It's July 8th already. Lisa, thank you.
Thank you.
Always appreciate it. Let's get to Kelly Slifka now, the final look at your first warn of weather.
Yeah, it's hard to believe we're already at July 8th, and with all the rain we've dealt with, it looks like it's going to be quite a bit quieter now as we go forward. We can't rule out a couple of showers or storms popping up. Watch on our future track. Other than Adams and Juneau County, Camp Douglas, the Dells area. Maybe into Green Lake and Marquette County. Can't rule out a shower, an isolated thunderstorm, maybe a brief heavy downpour. That should end after dark tonight. Tomorrow, 81, a typical July day. 82 with a chance of showers and storms. No big storms headed our way. It looks like Beryl is going to be mainly staying to our south, but that may bring in a shower or thunderstorm Wednesday. Look at the heat, though, building for the weekend. 88 on Saturday, 90 expected on Sunday. You can expect that humidity to make it feel like close to 100 this weekend.
Wow, here comes summer. All right, Kelly, thank you. Thanks for joining us on a Monday live look at the backyard, and we'll be back with more news on Live at 4.